All right, let's go. Welcome to another episode of eCom Raw Reality, where we talk all things e-commerce, Shopify, Meta ads, Google ads, or email marketing, just like in this one. So, what I want us to talk about in this one is basically passive income, free money to some extent, and that is email flows. Because email flows are easy to, let's say, set up, right? But the main thing is actually setting them up right, and not just having it once and done and then like never looking at them again. And I'm actually saying this because by working with a lot of ecom brands and with many of them that actually, let's say, actually spend a lot on agencies and probably agencies, like that's the costliest thing that you can probably spend your money on, since freelancers, employees, they don't require as much in terms of like actual pay, but they also don't give the same amount of, I would say, work service in many cases, just because email flows are a mix of having the right strategy, knowing copywriting, marketing, psychology, marketing in general at a higher level. That's the actual strategy component. And then also having a designer, right? Because the designer, they won't be the ones that are actually business savvy. They won't be the ones that like give a shit in most cases about your results, because designers are not paid in general per result. So that means most of them will do a great job with the design part, right? Just like you as a business owner or marketer will probably do a great job when it comes to strategy, but the most you can probably design is Canva, or at least that's me, right? So I'm just projecting here. So coming back to it, now let's be tactical. When it comes to email flows, it's easy to find which ones to have set up. And actually, I made a doc, and I mean, if anyone wants it, you can just like ping me on Instagram. I can probably send it to you easily. I have a doc that I use as a resource, as an SOP basically, and there are a couple of flows, right? Such as the welcome flow. That's one of the most important. Basically, it offers an incentive of, let's say, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. The higher it is, the better, or a dollar amount, right? Because I know many brands, and you should probably do this as well, A/B test. Which is better? Is it 15% or is it, let's say, $10, which is maybe the same amount? So 15% for your product might mean $10, but because they are perceptually different, they will have different results, right? It's just like telling you that I'm going to sell you, let's say, a car that's 100K, and you'll have to pay 10K more for, let's say, some cool tires, but I will have them discounted like 50%, versus just like selling it for 105K or so, and then just saying that one of the components is free. So I would definitely recommend usually leaning on the side of just making it more perceptionally valuable. And usually when you say something is free, when something is like bonus, that is definitely a plus in most cases. But besides that, there are so many other flows, and I've worked with quite a few brands that are over 1 million and they still don't have the right flows, meaning that they either don't have enough emails in the welcome flow. Ideally, you do have 5+, ideally. Doesn't mean that it always gives you amazing results, but it's a nice to have. And after that, so you have the site abandonment, browse abandonment, product view. It depends there how you actually have them, but basically one of them is for when someone visits your website but not your product page, and then another one when someone visits your product page, and that's it, And then there are also the add to cart ones, the checkout ones, the post-purchase one, which is sometimes actually missing, interestingly enough, even though that's basically exactly when someone purchases. So that's them at their highest point almost when it comes to excitement, because they just paid, they took a decision, Their item will arrive anyway, right? Maybe that's when they'll be happy and so on. But at the same time, that's one of the first opportunities you have to actually impress in some way or another. And think of it like this: it's just like being there, having more eyeballs on your brand, right? Because the more someone sees your brand, your colors, your messaging, your logo, everything, the more they see it, of course, it is more likely for them to trust you, right? Because it's just like with a family member. You see them so often that you just get used to it, you know? So that's one simple way, even in relationships, to just form some good connections by being around some people enough times that they just get comfortable with you, you know? And this applies also basically if you want to get to have someone as, let's say, your friend, your business partner, whatever. But also you can be aware wherever you give your time, right? Because wherever you give your time, basically that's who you're most likely to interact with for long term, you know? So important decisions. So coming back to the email flows, which other ones? So there are a couple of other ones you can have. Another one is the customer win back flow. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this, and I'll tell you why. It's because basically, more or less, you can think of it as someone not being interested in your product. So that's why it's called the customer win back flow, because you're trying to win them back. And typically it doesn't really work because that's why they are in that flow. They're not really buyers many times, you know, so it won't work as well. As much as I want them to work better, they just don't work that well. So just food for thought, you know, like I still have those in some accounts, but yeah, they're just not amazing. And I would say those are the main ones. And don't forget that when you start flows, you can start to be a little bit fancier, right? So for example, if someone buys a specific product, you can actually tag them, and then you know that that person, let's say, bought a specific product, bought a specific bundle, or maybe they spent more, you know? So that puts them, let's say, as a VIP customer in your list. Even though platforms like Klaviyo already do this, you know, so it's more about what you plan on doing, but there are so many ways. And honestly, like even at this point, right, we're 2025, ChatGPT has been here for a long time. Tai Lopez has made SMMA popular, Iman has made it as well. So all of these people, right, have brought in like millions probably of people who do agency work or help eCom brands as we're talking about here, right? But still, like even at this level, there's enough human error, you know, like with me, with my team, with everyone's team, you know, there's enough human error. So that's why, for example, I'm making these videos, you know, it's like you can only get better by just like talking, or actually taking action, you know, like talking is also some kind of, let's say, way to get better because you speak something, so it remains more in your head as a memory, which you can go back to whenever you're at your computer and just look at problems, you know, because I mean, this is what business is, solving problems. And the more problems you can solve, the bigger they are, the faster you can solve them. Of course, the more you can get compensated as well, right? So I would say that's pretty much it. Email flows are definitely one of the easiest ways to just send people emails on basically on autopilot, because I haven't even mentioned what email flows are, if anyone doesn't know, but I mean, if you're here, you should know what email flows are, right? So it's just someone, like I said in the beginning, actually putting in their email to get a discount at the beginning, right? You can see this on almost any site. Or of course, if someone abandons their cart, right? You put something to your cart or to your checkout, but then you never actually finish you don't finish the actual purchase due to many reasons. You know, maybe you're not in the mood, you don't have enough money at that point. Like There are so many things, right? So that's why you just need to have these flows in there, because different people buy at different times. And if you are just there helping them, right, it's just like actually calling them to some extent, right? It's like actually having someone's number and calling them, all right, hey, why didn't you buy? You know, of course, that's very intrusive. So that's why we're using emails here. And they are definitely doing a great job for most of the brands. It's, if email is 40% of the revenue, flows usually are anywhere between 30 to 70 in most cases. Like, it varies depending on the brand, but yeah, more than enough, I would say. So definitely you need to take advantage of it. That's why I'm talking about it, just because it is that important. And I would say that's pretty much it. So we'll end this one with the conclusion that you need to set up your flows, to review them from time to time, and just make sure that you send a bunch of emails. And one last thing, maybe we talk more about this in another one, deliverability. So making sure people actually get those emails, they open them, and then they click them. If not, then you definitely need to work on them, because they might suck, or your deliverability may not be there at this point in time. And you can fix that, fortunately. So everything, in most cases, as we know, is figure outable or fixable. So that's it for this one. Appreciate, as always, sticking until the end. And until next time, peace out.